morning. It is time for Right Time Radio. I am Lynn Donovan, and we have my co-host, Sue Haas. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning.
And we also have Tay. Good morning, Tay.
Good morning.
We appreciate you running the board for us.
Yes, we do.
And also with us, we have a guest. Her name is R.L. Ashley. Good morning.
Good morning.
So happy to have you. She is one of the 4 authors who wrote in the book that you've heard already a little bit of, because our beloved David Lynn Spencer is also one of the authors in this book. So if you don't remember, it was called Always a Wedding Planner, kind of like Always a Bride, Never, or Always a Bridesmaid, Never a Bride. So it's a really cute book, but we do want to take a moment to say to David Lynn Spencer our condolences, because she lost her husband on Monday. So we love her very much,
you, David
and
Lynn.
Our heart is with her. So, RL, tell us, how did you get on the list of authors in this book? This is so exciting.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I belong to the critique group that is ran by Leanne Betts, who wrote the 3rd story in this book, and she asked me to be on the proposal, and I gladly accepted.
Cool. And your character is a seamstress, which you yourself are a seamstress also, correct?
That is correct.
That is so cool, because you know what they say, write what you know, right?
Yeah. I think I just said that before we went on the air.
I know, that's why I'm repeating it, because it was such a good quote.
So it was a real short book, right?
So this
Thanks, Tay.
remind us that this is a series of 4
Right. There are 4 stories in the collection.
that work together in this wedding planner business.
Yes.
Yes. So it's like the 4 of them own this business, correct?
Correct. It's called Weddings by Design, and the setting is in Loveland, Colorado.
And all 4 of these gals have their own dilemmas.
They do.
And their own romance that comes about. So that's pretty exciting. We like romance. Well, half of us like romance.
Sue is just sitting here.
Well, we all know how you are, Sue.
I do like good books.
Yes.
I will clarify there.
And this one is excellent. I've loved everything I've seen about it. So, well, you know what? We've got a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and share an excerpt from it, and you're going to hear it from the author's mouth herself. We'll have a few commercials, and then we'll read some more, and then we'll talk some more about R.L. Ashley and her author career. Go ahead.
I'm going to start with Chapter 1. Kiki Bell unlocked the front door to Weddings by Design and froze. Where were the furniture, the gowns, her sewing machines? She lugged 3 wedding gown garment bags across the main room, then peeked into her co-workers' offices, precisely as they'd left them on Friday. It must be some joke on her. She veered towards the kitchen. Were Felicity's baking supplies safe, and Ronnie's high-end knives? Everything looked fine. Had the business been burglarized over the weekend? If so, the thieves took everything she owned. Not a stray thread or dust bunny remained on the floor of her workplace in the main room. Kiki stepped toward Cassie's office and draped the bags over the office chair. A door shut at the rear of the house. Goosebumps rolled down her arms faster than a flying bobbin. Maybe the robbers were hauling her stuff out of the back door while she stood pinned like a pattern to the carpet. She grabbed Cassie's desk lamp. If she got close enough to throw it, she'd light up their lives. No one was ever going to get away with her sewing machines without a fight, ever. Never mess with the seamstress. Shuffling quietly out of the office, she reached the door to the kitchen. A woman dressed in a black pantsuit jumped out from behind the cupboards. Boo! Kiki screamed and hurled the lamp. The stranger dodged to the left as it flew into the trash can with a thump. Scared you. Kiki stepped backwards to the center of the room, inching toward the front door. Who are you? Tisk, tisk, tisk. I sure have my work cut out with you. No wonder you're not married. The intruder, who looked to be in her mid-30s, stepped out of the kitchen and peered at her. Wisps of gray hair and a couple of zits. You're plainer than the plainest Jane I've ever beheld.
Wow.
Kiki's mouth dropped open. Of all the nerve. Her ability to turn men's head was below 0 on a scale of 1 to 10, but this person didn't need to state the obvious. That dress. The stranger shook her head. And you call yourself a seamstress? Kiki glanced at her blue sleeveless frock. Clean, crisp, modest, comfortable. While she'd never graced the cover of a fashion magazine, she did try to look presentable and professional. Your teeth look like a picket fence.
Wow.
The woman stepped closer. Braces are in order for you, my dear. Kiki reached into her pocket for her cell phone. Gone. Patting her other pocket, she moved to the front door, then grabbed the handle and wrenched it open. Braces. Every middle-aged woman's dream. I don't know who you are or how you got into the shop, but you can explain that to the police. She bolted down the sidewalk to her vehicle. Where was her phone? The woman followed. Kiki, dear, I'm the new office manager. I have no idea who you are or how you got into my building. Kiki unlocked her car. There's no new office manager. It's obvious Weddings by Design needs a manager. The partnership's failure to communicate could leave your clientele with the impression you aren't professionals. Kiki grabbed her cell phone from the front seat, where it must have slipped from her pocket. She and her best friends worked hard at keeping every branch of the business informed. This nosy woman could explain it all to the cops. A grand caravan pulled into the space behind Kiki's car. Cassie Blackthorne slid out and walked to the sidewalk. Oh, I see you two have met.
That's a great place to stop and go to commercial and keep everybody wanting more. We always want to leave them wanting more, right, Tay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll be back after these messages.
Welcome back to...
I didn't point at you. Don't start talking.
The music is still going, right?
Now you can go.
Oh, thank you. Now I can come in.
The
Okay,
floor is
welcome
yours.
back to Right Time Radio.
Hey, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Ray Linebaugh. No, I almost did it wrong.
She almost did it
With Harvest Connections for sponsoring Right Time Radio. Thank you so much, Ray,
Thank you,
for
Ray.
taking care of us and making sure we're on the air. We appreciate that. Now say who we're...
Well, now I forgot her name. R.L.
Ashley.
I didn't really forget
And she's
her name.
reading an excerpt from Always a Wedding Planner. Go ahead.
And she is the seamstress in this
She
group.
is the seamstress.
This nosy woman could explain it all to the cops. A silver grand caravan pulled into the space behind Kiki's car. Cassie Blackthorne slid out and walked to the sidewalk. Oh, I see you two have met. Kiki exhaled. She shoved her phone into her pocket. She'd give Cassie a chance to explain before she dialed 911. That's right. Kiki has seen part of the new order I've established in the office to create a pleasant experience for our clients. Come check out what I've done. The stranger walked back into the shop. Kiki exhaled and whispered to Cassie, who is she and what has she done with my stuff? Kiki's eyes widened. I sent out a text to all the partners about hiring my cousin, Camilla Parsons, as office manager, and you responded with perfect. Here, look. She swiped her phone a couple of times and held it up for Kiki. Kiki read it, then opened her text and showed them to Cassie. I sent you a text about my purchase order for sequins and silk fabric, but I didn't get one about hiring someone. I'm sorry. I'm not the best at tech stuff.
Which is why you don't hire someone over the phone without talking to your partners. Yeah.
But then we wouldn't have a story problem.
Right.
It's true.
Kiki gazed at her phone with its taped-on screen protector. Come to think of it, when I sent the message about the purchase order, my phone shook and buzzed. Then your message came in saying, thanks so much. It was weird. I'm sorry. Cassie placed her hands on her cheeks. Camilla needed a job, and I couldn't tell her no. I apologized, too. Kiki draped an arm around Cassie's shoulder. It wasn't your fault. Seems my radio went on vacation without me. We'll figure it out as we go. Cassie sighed. While technology had its perks, I prefer paper and pencil. Anyone acquainted with Cassie knew she had a heart of gold and would never intentionally hurt anyone. But where was Kiki's sewing stuff? Was she supposed to create beautiful gowns out of thin air? Once inside, Camilla hustled them through the back door and into the detached garage. Ta-da! Your new sewing space. Kiki glanced around the area. Her sewing machines rested in a corner surrounded by boxes. The shelves on the walls housed business records labeled by year, while her work tables, ironing board, and other sewing tools lay strewn on the cement slab. The place looked like the aftermath of a sibling rivalry war on steroids.
Ooh.
She drew in a deep breath. Somebody had popped her wedding dress projects in a heap resembling the Broncos Patriot pileup on the 2-yard line. Thankfully, Camilla had spread a bedsheet in the center of the dusty floor first. Tossed over an exercise bike was the ball gown she needed to hem for one of tomorrow's appointments. Warmth flooded her face. Sweat drops formed on the back of her neck. Cassie, this isn't... Camilla grabbed Cassie's arm and pulled her out of the garage. Cassie, dear, you have several urgent phone calls you need to return. Your brides are waiting. Camilla popped her head back through the doorway. One word of complaint, and I'll have you removed from Weddings by Design faster than a groom kisses his bride after the official pronouncement. She hissed through her teeth. I have the power to fire you. I'm blood. Family. You're not. She jerked the door handle. I heard you're responsible for 2 children. Single moms can't afford to lose their jobs now, can they? She slammed the door behind her.
Wow.
Kiki sat on a box. The woman's words cut like electric scissors on Chantilly lace. What was she to do? Ousted from her lovely sewing place in the shop to a dusty garage by one of her best friend's relatives. Who was this woman to think she could act unprofessional and threaten a partner in the business? She'd just have to catch her colleagues alone and discuss the situation. It was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Her phone buzzed. A text from her nephew. Fire. Her breath caught in her throat. Called fire department. We're safe. She exhaled. Her fingers shook as she made several typos before succeeding in sending a text stating she was on her way. Racing to her car, she hopped in and pulled into the traffic. This was turning into her worst Monday in recent history.
Yeah.
What had happened? She checked her side view mirror, then changed lanes. Did the kids knock something flammable over and accidentally ignite the pile of her aunt's belongings in the house? Over the years, Kiki tried to convince her late aunt and uncle to declutter the house and outbuildings. They refused. Instead, they left the farm and the colossal hoarding mess as her inheritance. With soaring rent prices and 2 teenagers, she couldn't afford her apartment, so she moved her family into the old farmhouse over the past weekend. Her knuckles stiffened as she clutched the steering wheel. At least the kids were safe. Was her new home burning to the ground? Glancing at the dashboard clock, she noted the time crawling like an endless, messy scene. Why did she have to hit every red light in Loveland? Finally free from the last traffic signal, she raced down the country roads, accelerating as fast as she dared, not slowing until she turned into the driveway of the farm. The white, tired farmhouse stood sentry over the dilapidated barn, faded outbuildings, and exhausted corrals. 2 fire trucks sat in front of an outbuilding, billowing clouds of smoke emitting from broken-out windows and a hole in the roof that wasn't there when she left this morning. Kiki blew a sigh of relief. The house and barn were safe, along with her plan for their future use. She parked the car and searched for the kids, locating them behind the house, watching the fire. Kiki engulfed her niece and nephew into a family bear hug. Glad you're okay. What happened? We don't know. 15-year-old Tressa freed herself and pointed to the fire. We heard a loud bang. When we came out to see what it was, we saw the smoke. Her younger brother, Jack, his face smudged with dirt and soot, nodded. I tried putting it out with the garden hose, but it didn't help, so we called the experts. Kiki hugged him again. Smart move. The fire crew put out the flames of the building she designated as a she shed for her veil making, and a larger structure nearby once used as a cattle loafing shed. She and the teens sat on the back stoop until the smoke diminished. Kiki brushed the hair out of her eyes. What a day. How was she to recover financially from a fire and build her vision for the farm? On top of that, she had to figure out how to deal with a problematic office manager. Tressa and Jack depended on her. The beeping of a truck backing down the driveway forced her thoughts away from the fire scene. The trash company arrived to deposit the roll-off she'd ordered. That dumpster represented freedom. Freedom to relocate the insides of the house first, then the outbuildings. Freedom to begin some much-needed updating to the place. Freedom to design her dream. She motioned to the driver to place it close to the house and then rejoined her family. A handful of firefighters huddled together at the front of a fire truck, surveying the smoldering mess and packing up equipment. One of them men, clad in bunker pants, with his jacket unzipped and his dark hair matted to his head, left the group and walked toward her, a sheet of paper gripped in one hand. "Ma'am, are you the owner of this property?" Kiki stood and took a few steps forward. "Yes." "We think rodents and faulty electric wiring played a hand in the fire." Sweat dripped from his face. "Good thing the kids were here and spotted the smoke so quickly. Thanks for your help. I appreciate it."
All right, let's take another break, and then we'll come back, and we're going to talk about more of what R.L. Ashley is up to in her author career
While
after
I
these
read.
messages, while Sue continues to read the story.
Wait for it. Wait. Okay.
Go for it.
Welcome back to Right Time Radio, on cue this time, with Lynn Donovan, Sue Hawes, and R.L. Ashley. And,
I'm loving this story.
I am too. I was reading ahead.
She was. And you know, it's the four authors that have come together to write basically one story, but it's four different stories because it's four different characters, four different owners of this wedding design company. Yeah.
R.L. Ashley, Leanne Betts, Tony Shiloh, and David Lynn Spencer.
Yeah. And it's just awesome. And I am so excited because R.L. Ashley, this is her very first publication. What's that like?
It's exciting. It's been a long time coming, a lot of years of writing books and stories that never made it out of the desk
Nobody
drawer.
saw Big
They hear
Hero,
ya.
yeah.
We have those, don't we?
We've got them. and now with your first one, you're in Walmart. I'm so impressed.
Thank you. Yes, the book is available on Walmart.com and Target.com through mail order.
That is so cool. And also Christian Books Distributors, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I mean, it's all over the place.
You can find the book, folks.
And you can physically...
The series,
You
too.
can physically get the book at Barnes & Noble in Pueblo that we know. I guess if you can get it in Pueblo, you can get it in any Barnes & Noble. I know they can order them if they don't have them.
Correct.
So, because I've been told that before anyway. But you can get it in Kindle format or you can get the actual book. But the paperback is so pretty. I love the cover. And it's just fun to hold a book with ink.
I don't do Kindle. Yeah, I like books. and it's it is a series, but they all stand alone.
They do, but they work well together.
Yes.
And they're just, well, the stories themselves is fun because, again, you've got four women hedging out a business and having their own relationship
Four
problems.
women
and,
working together.
Yeah.
In a
Imagine
wedding
that.
business. In a wedding business.
Okay, listen, you've got a book signing on July 10th. Tell us about that.
Yes, that book signing is at Barnes & Noble at 4300 North Freeway Road in Pueblo, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And that is from 2 to 5. And I will be there along with several other authors from the collection.
Awesome.
Nice.
So we can actually meet you authors and get your signature in the book and visit with you about how much we love the story and all of that. And have some coffee too. 'Cause,
I like book signings.
Barnes & Noble has a coffee shop.
Someday I might have one of my own. But
You might.
yeah, I
I keep
like to meet
encouraging you
everybody.
to publish.
Well, I haven't touched my book in 5 months.
You've
now.
had some stuff going
Had
on,
some
my dear.
stuff going on, but it was going great guns while I was writing it. So.
Yes, it was. So will this be the very first book signing, or have you done one before?
This will be my third book signing. The
Okay.
book released June 1st.
First. Mm-hmm.
And we had one here in Canyon at Tailored West, and then one at Probasco's bookstore in Loveland, Colorado.
Okay.
So
Cool.
now you're just an old hand.
She's an old hand at
Old
it.
hand at it.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. We love meeting our readers anyway. It's a lot of fun. You know, I just came from South Dakota.
Right.
At the Wild Deadwood Reads. That's why you were here alone on that one Wednesday.
I'm so sorry.
Perfect Monday.
Yeah, you
I-
were so much help.
I imagine that you did an excellent job, Sue, because that's the reason why I asked you to be my co-host, because you are not as scared of a microphone.
I was surprisingly
And then
nervous.
she talks when she's not supposed to.
You think?
I just talk, and the mic is on or off. That's your part.
Hey, speaking of which, what do you got going on at the Rialto? Because I know you did Fremont's Got Talent. That was excellent. You
That
were
was a lot of fun.
sold
That was a
out.
lot of fun.
It was.
Kay did an excellent job of
Thank you.
emceeing it.
And he's helping us again. We are doing Our Town,
Our Town, and that's a play.
and that's a play by Thornton Wilder. Not a lot of props, thank God, because I'm the stage manager.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of fun doing period costumes.
Cool.
Trying to create period costumes,
What-
out
what
of
period is
prom
this?
dresses.
What year?
The 1900s, the early
Nice.
1900s.
I love that era.
And so it's been a lot of fun. But that is not this weekend, but the next 2 weekends after this.
Okay.
Right.
And that's 6 shows, Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday matinee.
Okay, cool. And then R.L. Ashley, you've got one more social media reader campaign going on with Celebrate Lit, correct? And that is
Correct.
online. I'm sorry, I just said it all instead of asking you to tell us. That is in September. We're not real sure of the dates, but RL has promised me to let me know when it is, and I will post it on the Right Time Radio Facebook page. So keep up with us.
And you tell us what it is.
Celebrate is a business that markets Christian books from Christian authors, and the campaign we're doing in September will be 2 weeks,
Nice.
2-week-long campaign with visits from at different blogs from readers across the country.
Neat.
Nice.
And you 4 authors will be basically available to answer and respond and all that jazz.
Correct.
So,
We will
yeah,
participate in that.
very, very fun. The online things are fun. I haven't involved you in any of those yet, Sue, but we'll get you involved in something next time.
Well, I need more things to be involved in, yes.
And Sue has promised to go to Deadwood with me next year, so we'll see.
Sue hopes, yes.
Sue hopes. It is a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
We'll leave Tay to run the show.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
do that.
Yes, you can
I
do
can.
that. I'm absolutely
I'll find something to talk about.
Absolutely confident you can do
Why
that.
does that worry me?
Hey, you leave me here alone. You're on your own. I'm not going to be held responsible.
Here's a nice little romance.
No.
That's my book.
Sorry.
Ooh.
RL was
Ouch.
kind
Getting
enough to
possessive.
gift both of us
Yeah.
a hard copy book, and she's signed them, and it's
Yes.
I love it. We'll be able to go home and read them ourselves.
And I can read ahead now and find out.
Okay,
Oh,
all right. We are done for the day. See you next Wednesday.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, you still got 25 seconds. so-
Okay, so
you said
again,
I can play the Jeopardy. theme.
writers, any writers that within the sound of my voice,
Yes,
please contact us.
at righttimeradio@gmail.com. And let us know you're
Thank
out
you, 'cause
there.
I
We want to
stuttered.
have you on the show.
Yes, please. You don't have to be published. Please let us know. We'll give you a microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
One.
done. 5,
Now you're done.
4, 3.
We are Royal Gorge Broadcasting, AM 1400, KRLN, Canyon City, Florence, and Penrose.